What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all doing well, and welcome back to Timbers Talk, a podcast for the Portland Timbers, but enjoyable by everyone. Today, we're going to be taking a look back at what happened during the 2021-22 Timbers offseason. So, first of all, we're going to go back to the 2021 from the 2021 MLS Cup till now. So the 2020 MLS Cup was back on December 11th, 2021, Portland versus New York City FC, and obviously it was a very, very sad loss for the Portland Timbers in penalties at Providence Park. So really everything starts from there. So going after that, we obviously made some key signings such as Sebastian Blanco. We also brought back a bunch of our other really key players, and we also brought in some new guys. We also brought back Jose Carlos Van Rankin, which I thought was another good signing. And so, yeah, we made some good moves there. However, we did also have a few key departures. So one right off the bat is Diego Valeri, absolute legend, absolute icon for the Portland Timbers all these years. He obviously is going back to Argentina to play for Lanús. I think that's how you pronounce it, Lanús. Um, and he's a really probably the Timbers' best player of all time. And hopefully he turns back to the Timbers as a player, as a coach, um, whatever. I just want him to be back. And then our starting goalkeeper, Steve Clark, also a very sad departure for us. He was a good player, and he left for Houston, so he twice started the MLS Cup in 2018 and then this past year in 2021. And now our starting goalie comes down to um Ivacic, Aljaz Ivacic, and then David Bingham, who will also try to complete for that starting goalkeeper spot. And another guy we brought in that I do like is David Ayala. So he's also from Argentina, and he was acquired from Estudiantes this offseason, and he was added through the under 22 initiative. So he's only 19 years old, so he's super young, but he can play as a defensive midfielder, so he gives us much better defense. And he can fit with Diego Chara, Eric Williamson, and overall make our midfielding situation much better. So I think Giovanni Savarese, he can really implement Ayala into our game plan and make us do really well next year. And over our full roster, it's not much has changed. It's almost the same thing. We still have Darren Esprilla, we still have Sebastian Blanco, like I mentioned earlier, Diego Chara, Yemi Chara, Laris Mabiala, Felipe Mora, Santiago Moreno, lots of the same players as we had before in 2021. But right now, our predicted starting 11, according to MLSsoccer.com, is Felipe Mora, Darren Esprilla, Yemi Chara, Sebastian Blanco, Eric Williamson, Diego Chara, um, also Jose Carlos Enriquin, Aljaz Ivacic, there's Mabiala, um, Claudio Bravo, and Zuparic. So I think that that's not a bad starting 11. I think it's definitely um, I think it's an alright starting 11, obviously, with Diego Valeri gone. He was a bench guy for us in 2021, he wasn't really a starter, but not having him for depth, obviously, it hurts as he was a Portland Timber for a really long time. Same thing with Steve Clark on having that very good goalkeeper. Hopefully, Ivacic is, really good for us, but not having Steve Clark also kinda sucks. And hopefully, if we do make a good run, um, I do hope we make a good run this year in the West, because people are projecting us to be, like, around mid in the West, like, maybe, like, that 4th to 8th range around. So, we were I believe, 4th last year in the West, so I think if we can still get that exact same placement or around that same placement, and we can still make the MLS Cup for sure. So, We did it last year. We beat the number 1 seed Colorado Rapids. We beat Little Salt Lake in the conference finals that year, and we also ended up beating Minnesota in the first round. So I do think we can definitely make some noise in the Western Conference again. We're usually really good when it comes to the playoffs. Like 2018, when we made the MLS Cup, we were the 5 seed, so you're even worse, technically. And again, we made the MLS Cup. That just proves what we can do in the playoffs. And 2015, we were the 3rd seed, but we beat the number 1 seed FC Dallas in the conference finals that year. And obviously, that really nerve-wracking penalty shootout against Sporting KC helps a lot back in 2015. So I think we can definitely make some noise in the playoffs, even if we don't finish at the number 1 seed or in top 3 seeds in the West this upcoming year. So overall, I think we still have a good team. I definitely don't think it's bad, but I do think we're not necessarily like the number 1 favorites to win the MLS Cup. We're definitely not the number 1 favorites. There's a lot of better teams out there, I do have to admit, but we're still a good team for sure. We're definitely a good team, and I think once again, we can make some noise. We can cause a lot of problems for other teams, and hopefully we can make another great run, make the MLS Cup again, and we'll see what happens from there. So, overall, good off season, but at the same time, I do wish we could have made some better moves at least. And but for what it was all right. I do think that there are some obvious strengths. For example, we have like a big veteran core, Diego Chara and Sebastian Blanco, most notably, and we've made a final in 2 straight years and 3 of the past 4. So our veteran core did that. But however, Sebastian Blanco, he's obviously very injury prone, and our core, it's pretty old. Like it's pretty old. It's not built for the future. It's only built for the present, if anything. So without Sebastian Blanco, we aren't as good. That's certain. We're not as good. He was injured for the first few months of the 2020 season. He got injured in 2019, and then he got injured this past season in the conference semifinals. He missed the conference finals this past year against Real Salt Lake. But if he gets injured, if he keeps on getting injured like this, then we really cannot do much. Like it doesn't we can't create high level chances if we don't have our best player in Sebastian Blanco. So making sure he stays healthy is definitely going to be a big key to doing well this year. And so I think having him be healthy, having our veteran core play well, and having the young players step up is what I think will carry us to an MLS Cup appearance and maybe even a title in 2022. So with that, thank you for listening. Have a great week and hashtag RCTID Rip City till I die.